What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So guys, today I know I'm in the car and I'm actually recording on my phone today because I couldn't find a little mount thing for my car for my camera. But anywho, today guys, we are going to record another video what I do in the day of the life of an LVN in Cali, doing intermittent visits. So today is kind of mapped out as being a stressful day because I have a lot of patients today. So today is the perfect day to try to record for you guys, to let you guys know what I do. And if you guys have any comments, just put them down below. Sorry guys, I'm in traffic, yeah, because I'm going to the first patient and I'm starting late today. That's why I said it may be a little stressful, but whatever, I prayed on it. Woosah. Yeah, so if you have any questions, put it in the comments down below. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because it helps my channel grow. Yeah, so without further ado, we on our way to the first patient right now. I'm not gonna say an exact number of patients that I have. Let me fix this camera. So, dude, what you gonna do? Yeah, so I'm not going to say an exact number of patients that I have today because it does change throughout the day, because some people cancel or the agencies may call me or text me and ask me, can I see another patient? But for the time being right now, I have 10 patients on my schedule for today. And remind you, it's already like 9 o'clock and I'm just now starting. Usually I start around like 6:30 in the morning, but I had other stuff to do. So yeah, the first patient that I'm going to so the first patient that I am going to right now is a male, and he is 74, and he has a abscess wound on his upper back. So I'm going to do wound care right now on that patient. That shouldn't take too long. So, you know, of course, you do have to do vitals with every single patient and ask them their pain level, because pain is a vital sign, guys. Yeah, so wound care, vital signs, and he did have some type of level of edema in his right knee yesterday. So I'm going to assess that and see what's going on with that, see if it has decreased or increased. Hopefully it's decreased. So without further ado, I will not be taking you guys in the patient's house with me because you guys already know about HIPAA, patient confidentiality, and patient information. So I'm gonna go do that. But I will tell you guys the type of wound care he does need. So we're doing cleaning with normal saline and packing it with the iodoform packing strips, and covering it with the ABD pad and securing it with tape. Period. And that has been working fine for the past 2 weeks that I've been doing that, and I come and see him every single day. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I come back out from the patient's house. All right guys, so I am back from seeing the patient and doing wound care. I'm going to the next patient. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, so what I do when I schedule patients, the ones that don't have to be seen every day, is I try to keep everybody like in the same area. I try to keep everybody in the same area so I won't have to be driving like around everywhere, and gas is really expensive right now, so I try to do that. But other than that, like if you have to see a patient every day, then you have no choice. So yeah. But anyway, this last visit, it was only, I think I spent about 20 to 30, no, I'm lying. I spent about 30 minutes seeing the patient. So the next patient that I'm going to go to is, he's a little ways away, which is about 20 minutes away. And pretty much he is, it's a male, and he is 78. He's diabetic, and he has hypertension and some other issues going on. So he doesn't have a wound, but I do have to do some teaching with him and his wife today regarding his medications, check his blood sugar, his other vital signs, and what else? Yeah, do all that. Oh, and I printed out some information for them regarding this blood sugar and his sliding scale for his insulin. And that is pretty much it for that patient. So if anything else differently happens, when I go and see that patient, when I come out, I'll let you guys know with that one. So that'll be patient number 2. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, so I am back from seeing the patient with the teaching. So my next patient is about 10 minutes away, and he has 2 wounds, which are very small. They're on the wrist, on each wrist, here and here, because he had some type of biopsy done. Yeah, he had some type of biopsy done, and he is, how old is he? He is 54 years old, but he does have a history of MRSA. He just got over that. He did his rounds of antibiotics, and he has a history of, well, he had a history of diabetes, but he changed his eating habits, and now he's, all of a sudden, he's not diabetic anymore. So yeah, I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go take care of his 2 little bitty itty bitty wounds, basically cleaning those and patching them back up. And also, I know I got a question before on one of my home health videos. Let me fix this. I know I got a question before on one of my other home health videos where someone asked, is it a lot of bending and lifting with doing the wound care? So basically, guys, it depends on what type of wound care that you're doing and where the wound is located. So if it's located on the foot, then yes, you're going to be doing some bending and maybe lifting the foot up. But what I do to save my back, I have the person put their foot up on either a stool or a chair because I need my back. And as far as lifting, I know some of the nurses, they may lift, but yeah, I don't do all the lifting because I need my back. And yeah, you'll be out of commission and that person will be long gone about their business. So yeah, I don't do all that. And as far as, I know I got another question before about the charting. So it depends too. That's a personal preference, not reference. That's a personal preference with the charting. You can go in, like if it's online charting, electronic charting, then you can go in maybe your phone or your tablet that you carry with you and start the charting at the patient's home. Or if you're doing paper charting, then you can start it there at the patient's home, or you can just wait until you get done with your shift for the day and chart at home or at your office, wherever you chart at. And I think I got another question where the person was asking, how long does it take to chart? Guys, that's another personal preference. It depends. If you're a long, narrow-rated charter, then yes, it's going to take you longer. If you're a fast charter, then it's not going to take you that long. So that depends all on you. But for me, for my charting, for each patient, I am going to say that it does take a little longer than normal, because I like to incorporate every single thing that happened for the visit. I mean, every single thing, because you working out here as an independent person, which you are under a doctor and a registered nurse, but you still have to cover your own license too, guys. So always chart, document document, because if it was not documented, it never happened. Always remember that. If it's not documented, it never happened. So make sure you cover your ass all the time. So with that being said, I'll try to go over, actually, I'm only doing a few questions in this video because I don't want this video very long, because I already have a lot of patients to see today. I will try to do a separate video with covering all the questions that I have received, so you guys can get some type of some type of something, especially for the new nurses that are thinking about going into home health. So yeah, we'll go over it, and I'll try to cover some questions at the end of this video, or I'll just do a whole nother video. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna go to this guy's house and do his wound. Actually, the wound on his left hand is closed. The one on his right hand, it should be closed today. So if it's closed today, then he's getting discharged. So with discharging, it's either sometimes the agency can discharge them, or I know for sure the registered nurse has to go out and discharge them, just to make sure everything is cool and they don't need any more care. But I will talk to you guys when I come out of his house, because then I have another patient after that. Today is mostly wounds, so yeah, wounds and teaching. No drawing blood today, none of that schedule. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Alright guys, so I'm back from seeing that patient. So he's not going to get discharged. I hope these notifications don't come up on my phone, because I'm recording with my phone today. But yeah, so that patient is not going to get discharged today, because he had some new signs and symptoms show up with whatever's going on with him. But anywho, I'm on my way to the next patient. As you can see, I'm on this crowded freeway. On my way to the next patient. So this patient is a 58-year-old woman. She has a history of falls and history of diabetes and hypertension and heart failure. So basically, I'm just going to do teaching with this patient and see if she has anything new going on. And that's about it. And I will talk to you guys in a bit after that. Alright guys, so I am back. I am actually back at home, and it's the next day. Sorry, I had some things. I'm fixing the camera, but anyway, I had some things come up yesterday at work, and I ended up having 13 patients, which was quite a bit. So yeah, I had 10 wound care patients, and then I had 3 patients that I had to do teachings on with them and families, but it went okay. It wasn't as stressful as I thought it would be, but I didn't want to just end the video like that. I just didn't have time to keep recording after each patient because it would take up too much time and it would make this video like super long. So I wanted to continue this video today and answer some of the questions that you guys had and you guys have sent me, and I keep looking down at my phone because I'm going to answer the questions that you guys had. And guys, just keep in mind, I only can answer questions that I've experienced. I can't answer something that I'm not going to say I don't know anything about, but I haven't experienced. So I'm going to try to answer them to the best of my ability, for you guys. And hey, that's that. And just keep in mind that home health is just like any other job or nursing job that you would have. You're going to always use your nursing skills, so never forget that. So let's go over the first question. It says, would you say it's a lot less stressful than long-term care? I really can't answer that because I've worked in home health for the past like 9-10 years, compared to I only worked in home health for about 3 weeks. So yeah, but the time that I did work in long-term care, I was there for, I'm gonna say 8 hours at a time, and I did work with residents that actually lived there at the nursing home. And it's just like you do any other nursing job. You pass meds, you do your vitals, you do your assessments, you report to the registered nurses and the doctors, and you get orders from the doctors. It's just like any other nursing job, and as if you were working at a hospital too. Compared to home health, you have your patients. Most of the time we have different patients, but I do have a couple of patients that I've been having for a while, and they need long-term teachings and care because a lot of them live alone. So yeah, and it's just different because with home health you're doing, and when I say home health, because it's different types of nursing home health jobs, such as the one that I do is intermittent visits, where you go to the patient's home and you visit them for a set amount of time. And I did get a question asking me how long does each visit take. Now that depends on you, and that depends on what type of visit that that needs to take place. Most of the visits should not take more than an hour at a time. Yes, you're doing teachings. You do teachings at any nursing. You're teaching the patients, you're teaching the family, so it doesn't matter what setting you're in, you're still teaching. So yeah, it depends. If you're doing wound care, it depends on what type of wound you're doing. It could be a wound that takes 5 or 10 minutes compared to a wound that takes 20 to 30 minutes, because maybe the person has several wounds going on, so it takes a while. So yeah, so I don't want to keep rambling, but yeah, with home health you're going to be driving around, seeing the patients instead of you're stationed at one location. Yeah, the next question is, what's a difficult and stressful day look like? Like I said, I'm not trying to be funny, but a difficult and stressful day, that's just like any other nursing job. If you're working in home health, a nursing home, a convalescent home, if you're working in home health, a convalescent, a hospital, that depends on how you take in stress. A stressful day for me is if I hadn't had enough sleep the night before, and I have to get up really early and see a lot of patients, and I have a little bit of energy. So that's a stressful day for me. And if I have to do a whole lot of driving, and when I say a whole lot of driving, when I really didn't put in the work the day before or days before to map out the patients on the patient's homes on where I'm going, so that means I'm driving over here, driving over there, all the way across town, But lately I haven't had those. I try to map out the patient's homes and see the patients all in the same area for that day. So yeah. Another question is, what kind of patient teaching do you do? Can you demonstrate an example? So one demonstration of a patient teaching, let's say for instance if a person has a history of hypertension, then you would teach them on how to eat properly. Low sodium foods, don't add salt to your foods, exercise regularly, take your medications on time, take your medications directly in exact way. Take your medications exactly as they are prescribed to you. Don't take more medications than you are supposed to unless you're under the direction of your PCP. Okay? And reduce stress. And if the patient was diabetic, you would tell them make sure they check their blood sugar, make sure they take their insulin exactly as the way it's specified. Okay, if they have a sliding scale, make sure they're going by the sliding scale. Make sure they're not eating foods that are high in carbohydrates. Make sure they're exercising. Make sure they're taking in enough H2O on a daily basis. Yeah. Make sure they're not eating excess sugary products. So that's an example of patient teaching. It's not hard, guys. It's really not hard. Another question is, approximately how long does it take for you to chart each patient you see? I already addressed that question earlier in this video, so take a look at that, because it depends on what you're doing for the patient, what the patient has going on. But I am going to say make sure you chart everything, because you want to cover your ass every single time, because you're working under your license. Okay, even though you're under the direction of the registered nurse and the doctors, you're still working under your license that you work very hard for. So the charting depends on you, how narrative you want to get with the charting. Okay, the next question is, do you have to do a lot of bending and lifting for things like doing wound care on a lower extremity or back side? We already addressed that earlier in the video, so take a look at that. And do you ever come back home as tired as you would coming from a facility? It's the same. It's the same. The only difference is that I'm driving to the patient's homes instead of the patients coming to the facility or coming to a office. It's the same thing. If you get really tired during driving, then of course you're going to come home more tired. If you're putting in more hours that you would do at a facility, of course you're going to come home more tired. But it's about the same. It's about the same. I've worked at hospitals, I've worked at outpatient clinics, and it's about the same. It's just the only difference is that you're driving to the patient's home. You're going to the patients instead of the patients coming to you. So it's the same thing. It's no cutting corners. All the same care that you would give them at a facility, you would give them at when you're going to their home, except for doing like using like machines and stuff like that, like for x-rays and things like that. But it's the same care, the same assessments, same thing. You're just driving to the patient's homes. The next thing is for documentation. Is it a lot of narrative notes or more check the box? Now, we just addressed that. I work for several home health agencies, so each one of them is different. Like I said, each home health agency operates different. For one of the home health agencies, we actually have to document. We're still doing paper notes. So yes, we're still documenting handwritten notes. So yes, that's a lot of writing. And then the other home health agencies, they have electronic charting, which means you chart online into a system that they have. So you still have to type out the nursing notes. yes, you have to do I'm gonna leave it at this. You have to do narrative notes. You cannot cut corners. Try to not necessarily abbreviate stuff, but do shortcuts. You're covering your license, guys. Make sure you do that. And they have different electronic charting systems. So some of them are check the box. Some of them, well, all of them are checking boxes, and all of them are typing out stuff. Just as if you're doing a regular nursing note. It looks just not exactly the same, but it's the same format of all of them. Nursing assessment, nursing assessment, nursing assessment. Okay? Next question. What skills should a person interested in home health brush up on before starting? So, make sure you're up. Excuse me. Make sure you have your game up with checking blood pressures. And I know a lot of nurses are using the blood pressure machines, but what if that machine isn't working? You want to make sure that you know how to check blood pressure manually. So make sure you brush up on that. And guys, and another thing, make sure you brush, and this may sound so simple, but make sure you brush up on your skills in respirations, because I noticed in some people's nursing notes they're just putting 18. Everybody doesn't have 18 respirations going on, so make sure you're brushing up on that. And if you have wound care experience, but I took an extra course to get wound care experience, so you guys can maybe take a class for that, get some type of certification for that. I mean, if you're a new nurse, yes, it's most of the stuff that you learned in school. If you got to practice on patients, yes, it's that too. So yes. So next question. Oh, and one of the skills is, so this next question has to do with phlebotomy skills. So do you need phlebotomy skills, or does the lab phlebotomist come out to draw blood? So it depends on your home health that you're working for. Some home healths have phlebotomists go out and draw the blood, and some of them have you draw the blood. And yes, you do have to go and drop it off at the lab. You can't just leave it sitting in your car, because it has to be dropped off at a certain time, and that has to do with wound cultures and urine specimens also. So sometimes for one of the agencies, I do take the wound cultures and the urine specimens. I take them myself, and I go and drop them off at the lab. They're different locations throughout your city, or wherever your home health is assigned to, or their insurance is assigned to. So yeah, so you can, I would say, yes, make sure you get your IV certification. If you have your LVN or your LPN license, you could get your IV certification. So stay up on those skills, because especially if you're planning on working in an outpatient or a hospital, you definitely need those skills, because you do have to draw blood. Yes. Okay. Another question is, have you ever been in an extremely uncomfortable situation? And if you have, please describe. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but that's just like working at any other job. If you are a nice looking person, yes, people do come at you sideways, and yeah, they come at you sideways and they will try you. So but based on working in home health, I have had a couple of situations with male patients, and when I figured out what they were about, I immediately exited their home, and I had them reassigned to someone else. But most of the time with home health, is the issues that I have is if the patient's home is dirty. I have went into some extremely filthy homes, and I have went into some extremely clean homes. I've had situations where I went into homes and we actually had to call a social worker out to assess the situation, and to also verify that it was unsafe that the patient could be staying there in the home. So it's a lot of things that like that we do experience in home health. Yeah. And also you have to make sure that you're reporting things too. You can't go into someone's home and they're living in an unsafe situation and you're just going there for every single visit and you're not reporting that. That's very important. You are a reporter. You're a mandated reporter. You're a nurse, you are a mandated reporter. So if you see anything, you hear anything, you have to report that. So guys, I don't want to make this video super long. I know it's gonna be long, and I apologize for that. I just wanted to address all the questions and concerns that you guys had. If you guys have any other questions, or you just really didn't understand it, because I know I kind of like rushed through a couple of things because I'm a little tired today. I know you guys can see that I rushed through a couple of things. But if you have any questions or concerns, just leave them down in the comment section for me, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can for you guys. But I appreciate you guys coming to my channel and watching my videos. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, especially so you can get more content like this, and it helps my channel grow, guys. Okay, so on that note, I will see you guys in another video. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.